Welcome back to BNB Spoilers channel. Today, we unravel one of the most shocking revelations to ever shake Steffi Forrester Finnegan's world. Just when she thought she had seen it all, when she had fought through every dark corner of Finn's past, she is forced to confront a truth so unimaginable that it threatens to unravel everything she has built. A secret child, a dangerous legacy, and a killer on the loose. This is one bombshell Steffi never saw coming. A knock at the door. Luna's past comes knocking as the sun sets over the sprawling Los Angeles skyline. A restless Luna Nozawa paces inside Bill Spencer's mansion. Hidden away from prying eyes, she has spent months in the shadows, dodging questions and evading capture. But even the most careful fugitives slip up. And one mistake could be the end of everything. The moment she hears the sharp rap on the door, Luna's body stiffens. It's late. Too late for unexpected visitors. For a moment, she debates ignoring it. Maybe they will go away. But the knock comes again, louder, more insistent. Hesitantly, she moves toward the peephole. A man stands on the other side, a toolbox clutched in one hand, a clipboard in the other. He looks ordinary enough. Too ordinary. That makes her nervous. She's lived long enough in the shadows to know that danger rarely comes wearing a warning label. She takes a deep breath, steadies herself, and cracks the door just enough to peer through. "Yes?" she asks, her voice deliberately casual. "Air conditioner repair," the man replies. "Remy Price. You called earlier about an issue with the unit?" Luna swallows hard. She didn't call anyone. Her mind races. Did Bill? No, Bill barely acknowledges her presence, let alone makes appointments on her behalf. Then it dawns on her, someone must have noticed the air wasn't working properly and scheduled a repair. And now, she's trapped. Remy shifts his weight, glancing at her face, his eyes narrowing just slightly. Recognition flickers. It's almost imperceptible, but Luna catches it. His mouth opens slightly as if to say something, then snaps shut. His brows knit together in concentration. "You look familiar," he finally says. Luna forces a tight-lipped smile. "I get that a lot," she lies. But Remy isn't convinced. He's seen her before, he's sure of it. And then, it clicks. The newspaper headlines, the news reports, the trial. "You're that girl," he breathes, his voice barely above a whisper. Luna Nozawa. The serial killer intern who had terrorized Los Angeles. The woman who had been locked away, or so everyone thought. For a moment, time stands still. And then, Luna smiles. Steffi's nightmare, a family of monsters across town. Steffi Forrester Finnegan's world is crumbling. The night had started with intimacy and trust, a quiet conversation between husband and wife. Finn had been unusually tense, his fingers drumming nervously against the edge of the table. Steffi had noticed, of course. She knew him too well. "Finn," she had murmured, reaching for his hand. "Whatever it is, just tell me." And so he had. The words had tumbled out of him, raw and jagged, each syllable slicing through the fragile piece they had built together. He had been 18. Young, inexperienced, caught up in a night he barely understood. And the woman? Poppy Nozawa. Steffi had reeled. His aunt. They're not blood related, she had told herself, willing herself to find reason in the madness. But the unease in her stomach had refused to settle. Still, she had comforted him. She had held him, whispered assurances, told him it wasn't his fault. But then he had said it. "There's more," Finn had admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "Steffi, that night, it led to something else. Someone else." Steffi's breath had caught in her throat. Finn had inhaled sharply, his hands shaking as he spoke the name that would destroy everything. Luna Nozawa. The woman who had locked Steffi in a cage, left her to die. The serial killer who had haunted their lives, left bodies in her wake, and now, Finn was telling her that Luna was his daughter? Steffi had stood so quickly her chair scraped against the floor, the sound slicing through the tension like a knife. No, she had whispered. No. That can't be true. But Finn's haunted eyes told her otherwise. Steffi had already fought so many battles. She had learned to live with the knowledge that Sheila Carter was her mother-in-law, that a woman capable of monstrous acts shared blood with her husband. But this? This was too much. She couldn't breathe. How could she look at Finn the same way again? How could she trust him? Love him? Stay with him? Finn's burden, a past that will not stay buried. Finn watched his wife, his heart breaking as he saw the devastation in her eyes. He had spent years burying the truth. Telling himself that Poppy had taken advantage of him, that what happened that night wasn't his fault. But now, the past had come clawing its way back. He had no love for Luna, no relationship with her. But she was his blood. And blood, as he had learned with Sheila, had a way of pulling you in, even when you wanted nothing more than to run. He had spent months wondering. Had he known? Had he felt it? Some subconscious pull toward Luna that had always been there. Or had he just ignored all the signs, because the truth was simply too terrible to face? And now, Steffi knew. Now, he saw it. Not just fear. Not just heartbreak. But revulsion. Would she ever look at him the same way again? Would he ever be able to forgive himself? A future in ruins, what happens next? Steffi doesn't know what to do. She loves Finn. But love can only go so far when the ghosts of the past keep haunting the present. Meanwhile, Luna's fate is still uncertain. Will she silence Remy Price before he can expose her? Or will she take an even darker path? Next, we are diving deep into one of the most controversial casting choices to ever shake the bold and the beautiful fanbase. The decision to cast Rebecca Budig as Taylor Hayes has not only sparked heated debates, but has also led to some passionate discussions across social media. The fans have spoken loud and clear, many of them believe this was a huge mistake. But why? What exactly is it about this casting that has viewers so divided? Strap in, because we're breaking it all down for you, from audience reactions to in-depth analysis of what this means for Taylor's character and the future of the show. A storm of fan reactions, social media backlash. The fan response to Rebecca Budig's casting as Taylor Hayes has been anything but mild. In fact, it has ignited a firestorm of opinions across social media platforms, with fans making their feelings very clear. They're not happy. Viewers took to Twitter, Facebook, and online forums to voice their frustration. While many acknowledge that Rebecca Budig is a talented actress with a strong soap opera background, she played Hayden Barnes on General Hospital, they just don't see her as Taylor. One fan bluntly stated, "Rebecca Budig is a total miscast IMO. She's a good actress. I enjoyed her as Hayden on GH, most of the time. But in this role, she feels totally misplaced." Scenes between Taylor and Steffi nowadays are like watching sisters gossip about a rival. That last comment resonates deeply with many B&B fans who believe that Budig's youthful look creates an awkward dynamic with Steffi Forrester. Instead of feeling like a mother-daughter relationship, their scenes come across as two women of the same generation competing for screen time. Another fan expressed their disappointment, writing, "Not to mention, it's a hard contrast to Krista Allen's version. I believed her Taylor when it comes to the complicated history with Brooke. She had chemistry with Torsten K, but maybe even better chemistry with KKL. Clearly, the emotional depth and the historic tension between Taylor and Brooke were something many fans appreciated in Krista Allen's portrayal, something they feel is missing with Budig's version. But the controversy doesn't end there. The Krista Allen versus Rebecca Budig debate. One of the biggest issues surrounding this casting change is the inevitable comparison between Rebecca Budig and Krista Allen, who had previously taken on the role of Taylor. Krista Allen's portrayal was not only well received, but also felt authentic to many longtime viewers. Fans loved how she navigated the complexities of Taylor's history, particularly her rivalry with Brooke Logan. Many feel that Rebecca Budig lacks that deep-rooted intensity that made Taylor such an iconic character. While Budig is an undeniably talented actress, her version of Taylor comes off as too different from what fans have come to expect. Some viewers have even speculated about the real reason behind the switch. One fan theorized, "I don't know why Krista Allen was let go. Was it just that Brad Bell didn't know what to write for the character at that moment? Or was it that the chemistry between KA and KKL was so strong that he chose to hit the reset button intentionally?" These questions highlight the behind-the-scenes mystery surrounding Taylor's recast. Was this a creative decision gone wrong, or is there something deeper going on? Hunter Tylo's legacy, a standard no one can match? If there is one thing that the bold and the beautiful fans can agree on, it's that Hunter Tylo set the gold standard for the role of Taylor Hayes. Her portrayal of the character was legendary, a perfect mix of poise, strength, vulnerability, and undeniable presence. Even those who weren't fans of her more dramatic acting choices in recent years still admit that she embodied the essence of Taylor in a way that hasn't quite been recaptured since. One particularly passionate fan even stated, "And yes, I would even take Hunter Tylo back as Taylor. Even though I didn't get and wasn't a fan of her Michelle Stafford ways of overacting in recent years, she still felt like Taylor." This comment reflects a sentiment many viewers share. Even with any perceived flaws, Hunter Tylo's version of Taylor still felt authentic to the role. Could it be that fans are simply unwilling to accept anyone else's Taylor? Or is the real issue the way the character has been written in recent years? The evolution of Taylor Hayes, from poised to problematic? It's not just the actress that has changed, it's the character herself. Once known for her calm, level-headed demeanor and ability to bring balance to the chaos of the Forresters and Logans, Taylor has been written in a way that feels unrecognizable to longtime fans. Instead of being the wise and mature counterpoint to Brooke's impulsiveness, Taylor has become erratic, insecure, and reactionary. Some fans argue that it doesn't matter who plays her, as long as the character is written this way, she will never resonate the way she used to. Could it be that the real issue isn't Rebecca Budig at all? Could it be that the bold and the beautiful writers have lost sight of who Taylor Hayes is supposed to be? If that's the case, then no recast will ever feel right. What's next for Taylor and the show? At the end of the day, The Bold and the Beautiful is a show that thrives on drama and change. But sometimes, change isn't always for the best. Rebecca Budig's casting as Taylor Hayes has stirred controversy, divided fans, and left many wondering what's next for the character. Will the writers adjust Taylor's storyline to better fit the new actress? Or will the backlash grow so loud that they have no choice but to recast the role yet again? Only time will tell. One thing is certain, The Bold and the Beautiful fans will keep tuning in every day to find out. What do you think? Is Rebecca Budig a miscast, or should fans give her a chance? Next, we are diving deep into a dramatic turning point for Hope Logan, one that could leave her jobless, single, and without a home. After making powerful enemies at Forrester Creations, Hope's entire world is on the verge of collapse. But in the midst of this downfall, there's one person who refuses to abandon her, her father, Deacon Sharp. As the battle for Forrester Creations reaches its peak, Hope's defiance may cost her everything: her career, her place within the Logan family, and even her relationship with Carter Walton. But can Deacon help his daughter rebuild from the ashes of her shattered life? Let's break down what's coming in this shocking turn of events. Hope's future in jeopardy, a complete breakdown. For months, Hope Logan has been living at the top, reveling in her power at Forrester Creations. She has taken full advantage of the company coup, and even gone so far as to taunt Steffi Forrester, flipping the script on their long-standing rivalry. While it may have felt satisfying in the moment, her overconfidence may be her undoing. Despite her efforts to secure her position, Hope is terrified that her reign at Forrester Creations is slipping away. She knows that if Carter Walton gives in to his guilt and decides to return the company to Ridge, Steffi, and Eric Forrester, she will be left with nothing. In desperation, Hope does everything in her power to convince Carter to hold firm. She pleads with him, argues with him, and even resorts to manipulation, insisting that they have every right to continue leading the company. But deep down, she knows the truth: this isn't her legacy to control. And no matter how much she fights, the day will come when Forrester Creations is taken from her grasp. The betrayal that could destroy Hope and Brooke's relationship. While Hope battles to hold on to her position, she remains blissfully unaware that her own mother, Brooke Logan, is working against her behind the scenes. Brooke has one priority: getting Ridge Forrester back. She knows that as long as Hope remains in power at Forrester Creations, Ridge will never fully reconcile with her. He won't tolerate Hope living on the Logan estate, nor will he accept her as a force within the company. With this in mind, Brooke begins quietly influencing Carter Walton, pushing him to return Forrester Creations to its rightful owners. She does this all without telling Hope, knowing full well that when the truth comes out, it will cause an explosive confrontation. And that moment is coming, fast. Once Hope realizes what her mother has done, her fury will be unparalleled. She will see Brooke's actions as a complete betrayal, accusing her mother of choosing Ridge over her own daughter. This could be the final breaking point in their already fragile relationship. Hope's entire life falls apart. The aftermath of the Forrester takeover. As expected, Carter Walton ultimately gives in to his guilt. Despite Hope's relentless efforts, he chooses to return Forrester Creations to Ridge, Steffi, and Eric. And just like that, Hope is left with nothing. But her troubles don't stop there. With the Forresters regaining control, it's highly unlikely that they will allow Hope to keep a job at the company. The way she handled the coup, her brazen defiance, and her open hostility towards Steffi and Ridge have burned every possible bridge. And then comes the final blow: Carter Walton ends their relationship. While Carter and Hope have shared a connection, his loyalty ultimately lies with Ridge. He knows that in order to remain at Forrester Creations, he must walk away from Hope. And with a backup love interest in Daphne Rose waiting in the wings, Carter quickly moves on. With no job, no boyfriend, and no place to live, Hope finds herself at rock bottom. Deacon Sharp steps up, a father's unwavering support. Just when it seems like Hope has nowhere to turn, one person stands firmly by her side: her father, Deacon Sharp. Sean Cannon, who portrays Deacon, has already hinted at a major storyline shift that brings Hope and Deacon closer together than ever before. In a recent reveal, Cannon confirmed that he had filmed numerous scenes with Annika Noel, Hope Logan, suggesting that Hope will be leaning on her father more than ever in the coming weeks. But what does this mean for Hope's future? With nowhere else to go, Hope may move into the apartments at Il Giardino, the restaurant owned by Deacon. This would mark a dramatic shift in her storyline, as she transitions from the glamorous world of Forrester Creations to a humbler, more uncertain future. While this may seem like a major downgrade for Hope, it could also serve as an opportunity for growth and reinvention. Deacon has long struggled with his own demons, and now, he has the chance to guide his daughter through one of the hardest periods of her life. Longtime fans of The Bold and the Beautiful know that Deacon has spent years trying to make up for lost time with Hope. He wasn't there for most of her childhood, but now, he has the chance to prove that he is the father she can rely on. Deacon will do whatever it takes to help his daughter rebuild. Whether that means giving her a job at Il Giardino or simply providing emotional support, he refuses to let Hope face this crisis alone. What's next for Hope Logan? As Hope's world crumbles, one question remains: can she recover? With Steffi and Ridge reclaiming power at Forrester Creations, Hope's days in the fashion world may be over for good. The people she once saw as rivals now hold all the power, and there's no telling if she will ever be able to rebuild the bridges she burned. As for her relationship with Brooke, this betrayal could mark the end of their mother-daughter bond. Hope has always counted on her mother's support, but now, she may cut ties completely. And then there's Deacon. Could this new chapter in Hope's life lead to a deeper bond with her father? Will she find strength in adversity, or will she continue to spiral further into despair? One thing is certain: Hope's journey is far from over. Stay tuned to The Bold and the Beautiful for the next dramatic twist. What do you think? Will Hope bounce back, or is she doomed to lose everything? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.